Hello and welcome back to the second part of the 40k special. I apologize that I had to split this into two parts, just due to personal things and technical difficulties. This is what I ended up having to do, but don't worry, I won't waste any more time. I'll just get straight into the questions because we still have a lot more to go to in this part. So, first question by Unpopular Mono: what are your thoughts on Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom? Personally, I actually really did like Jurassic World. I didn't think that it was that bad of a movie. Sure, I mean, there were definitely some elements to it that could have been a lot better, but overall, I think it was a decent return to the franchise. It's definitely a lot better than some of the other ideas they were thinking about doing for a possible Jurassic Park 4 or whatever, but I'm glad that we ended up getting Jurassic World. I actually really did like that movie. As far as Fallen Kingdom goes, I'm a little mixed about it. I kind of see it as like a guilty pleasure, which I previously mentioned in my the last part of this Q&A. But overall, I think Fallen Kingdom is just a fun, dumb film if you want like dinosaurs and action. You know, you have Fallen Kingdom. You can watch it when you're bored or something. That's kind of how I view it. And I think it's very entertaining. And because of that, I still kind of like it. Next question from Gutsa1. Are you interested in actually writing science fiction? Yes, I am interested. However, I don't have enough confidence in my creativity to be able to conjure up something that's actually good in terms of science fiction. I'm pretty sure if I worked on it long enough, I could come up with something that's like somewhat decent. But overall, based on things I've written in the past, because I have written like science fiction stories when I was a kid, and obviously they were not good. If I did it now, they'd be miles better than my stories I wrote as a kid, but they still wouldn't be like that good, you know? So yeah, I am interested, I just don't think I can do it. Next question from Athar Astalos. He has two questions. What do you think of the Monster Hunter franchise and the creatures in it? And do you still illegally hunt Stegosaurus? And why are you racist towards iguanodons? So I'm going to answer number 2 first. That way, you know, because I'm pretty sure that's the one that you guys are going to be wondering about the most. Because out of context, this just sounds awful. So basically, Ath is referring to some of my really old content. Like literally some of my first videos that I've ever made on the channel were of me playing Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter, the mobile version. And in the videos that he's specifically referencing, I was hunting stegosaurs and iguanodons. And I guess I was illegally hunting stegosauruses, and apparently I was racist towards iguanodons. Listen guys, I know what they say, once a racist, always a racist, but I swear, that's in my past. I'm no longer racist towards iguanodons. That's definitely gonna get clipped and put in like an out of context fucking compilation. And for as far as number 1 goes, I think the Monster Hunter franchise, I mean, I don't really know what to think of it. I don't really have too much of a hardcore opinion about it because I haven't really played it. I played a little bit of it. I think Monster Hunter World is what I played, and I couldn't really get into it, although I have to say that like the animal designs, the monster designs in those games are crazy. They're really cool. So if you're referring to just the designs, then yeah, I think they're really cool. In terms of like the overall games, I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't really played it. Next question is from Guillermo. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I'm not even gonna try because I really don't want to butcher it, but I apologize. I'm bad with names. But Guillermo asks, are you currently studying something related to paleontology or any kind of research career? So I was, but not anymore. For the longest time in my life, I thought I was going to be a paleontologist, but more recently in my college years, that drive for wanting to be a paleontologist and wanting to do that as a career began to dissipate. And I don't really know what happened because this was something that I was really set on doing for the longest time. And then just kind of, it wasn't like out of nowhere. There was a point where I realized that there was this gradual, you know, build up to not really wanting to be a paleontologist anymore. And I was really passionate about making videos, and I realized, you know what, this is what I want to keep doing. I want to learn how to make stuff and continue to make stuff. I want to do it on a professional level, so I ended up changing my major from paleontology to media production. So to answer your question, no, I'm not planning on doing anything related to paleontology from here on out. It is a subject that I love talking about. It is one that I will hopefully continue talking about to some extent here on the channel, but it's not something I really see myself doing as a career path anymore. I still have an interest in it, just more as like as a hobby thing rather than trying to pursue it in a career or as a career, you know what I mean. Next question from Prasanthi V, who goes by GD the Psittacosaurus. He asks a fuck ton of questions that I'll just list right here. Number 1, have you played or at least heard of Friday Night Funkin'? 2, which video was the most fun for you to make? 3, who are your favorite dino tubers? 4, what is or are your favorite carnivorous dinosaurs, herbivorous dinosaurs, and omnivorous dinosaurs? And 5, have you seen Jurassic World Dominion? If so, what do you think of it? Okay, so I'll just answer these in order, I guess. Number 1, I have heard of that game, never played it, never really had an interest to play it. Yeah, that's about as much as I got for that one. 2, which video was the most fun for you to make? That's a hard one because I really did like all of my videos I love making. I guess the video that I had the most fun making was probably the Primal Iceberg video, I'd have to say, because there was just so much of that video that I really just enjoyed doing. You know, there were just so many elements to that video that I really enjoyed. Just creating the iceberg chart, covering the Primal show, which is a show that I really like doing. The fact that it was like an original iceberg because nobody else had really done it. Working with my friend Pish on it was really cool. There was just so many elements to that video that I really like doing, and I guess that's what makes it probably my favorite video in terms of like how much fun I had making it. My favorite carnivorous dinosaur, herbivorous dinosaur, and omnivorous dinosaur. I'll just give you a carnivorous and herbivorous dinosaur as my favorite. Carnivorous dinosaur, I don't even know if this is going to be something that people are going to hate me over, but T-Rex. And here's the thing, I feel like I need to explain just a little bit why I really like the T-Rex. I get it, the T-Rex is a very basic answer. Yes, we get that. However, the reason why I love T-Rex so much is not even because of like the dinosaur itself, but just its history, its overall history and its depiction in pop culture and media. Like that kind of stuff really interests me, and doing any kind of video involving it is always a treat to do because it's like learning its history and how people thought it looked like versus how they wanted it to look like, and everything in between. I don't know. I really like the T-Rex for that, just how it has such a rich history, the fact that it served as like the default dinosaur. Like you think of dinosaur, you think of that one. I don't know. I like it for that. I know a lot of people don't. Probably an unpopular opinion. I don't really know. But personally, that's why I pretty much like it. And my favorite herbivorous dinosaur is the Brachiosaurus, and that's just because I really love sauropods. Like sauropods, I'd say, in terms of just dinosaurs in general, I'd say sauropods are probably my favorite group of dinosaurs. In terms of like Brachiosaurus specifically, the reason why I love Brachiosaurus so much is probably because of the scene in Jurassic Park with the Brachiosaurus. That was really cool. Oh, hold on, I accidentally skipped one. Who are your favorite dino tubers? Nobody. I don't actually have a favorite dinosaur YouTuber or a favorite YouTuber in general, for that matter. And I know that's such a shitty answer to give, but I just don't view content creators that way, at least not anymore. There was a point in high school where I was like, I really did enjoy like this one content creator's stuff. I liked their personality, I liked their content. There was just a bunch of things that I really liked about this content creator, and it was unfortunately revealed that this person was just not that good of a person, like at all. And I don't know, I think that situation kind of just opened my eyes to the idea that, like, you know, it's probably best not to view content creators like this. I don't know, just the whole situation left a very sour taste in my mouth, and that's just something that I've kind of carried over to just now, and now I just don't really view YouTubers like that, so I don't really have a favorite, you know? There's a bunch of content creators that I like watching, but it would be really difficult for me to really look at them and be like, though, this one is my absolute favorite. And I'm not trying to say that, like, all YouTubers behind the camera are just pieces of shit. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that that situation specifically just kind of made me change my whole perspective on the idea. It's not that any of the dinosaur YouTubers that I currently watch are bad or anything. It's just I don't view content creators that way. And your final question, have you seen Jurassic World Dominion? If so, what do you think of it? Jurassic World Dominion is pretty bad. It's a pretty bad film. Yeah, I don't know. Jurassic World Dominion is a film that I wanted to be good, but just the more I think about it and the more I watch it, I realize that there's just so much about the film that I just really didn't like what they did. They had made these previous 2 movies to build up how these dinosaurs are in our world now, and they're going to affect our world, and you can't close Pandora's box. And instead of focusing on that and trying to show us the effects that dinosaurs have, they're just constantly insistent on it by telling us and showing us a couple of montage videos, and that's about it. I mean, yeah, you could argue that the Malta scene was probably a good representation of what I wanted out of the film, which you're right. However, I just think the Malta scene was just very minimal in comparison to the rest of the movie, because, I mean, it was just one scene. And honestly, I just feel like that whole Malta sequence should have been a good chunk of the movie. It should have been the majority or all of the movie. That's what the movie should have focused on, is dinosaurs' effect on, human civilization. Or human society, I guess. And yeah, I mean, that's basically my thoughts on it. There you go, little review right there. Next question from GamingIndominus. They have 2 questions. How did you get into looking for a lost or obscure paleo media, and what is your opinion on the anime character 02? I'm just gonna answer your second one because it's the more simple one. I don't watch anime, so I don't know who that is. I know I'm uncultured, but I don't know who that is. Sorry. But I can answer your first question. So I got into looking at like lost and obscure paleo media through people like I was greatly inspired by people like Blame It on Jorge, because he does a lot of like looking into obscure and lost media as a whole, and I kind of want to do the same thing with my channel, but I wanted to add obviously like the dinosaur element to it, because it's like that's what I'm most interested in. I like dinosaurs, so hey, there's got to be lost or obscure pieces of media that involve dinosaurs too, right? And when I looked into it, there were. So I decided to cover it because there was just a lack of coverage to it. Not many people were really talking about it, probably because there just really isn't much to it. But I still feel like it deserves to be talked about because it's still interesting as a whole, and I still think it deserves some level of coverage. So that's kind of the reason why I decided to go into it. I just find it very interesting. I was inspired by people like Blame It on Jorge, and there was just a lack of coverage to it. So yeah, there you go. Next question from CommanderSummit. What are your thoughts on the Arundel formation, and will you ever talk about InGen's list in Jurassic Park and how screwed up it is? So to answer your first question, I can't really answer that question because I have no idea what the Arundel formation is. So in case it hasn't already been obvious enough, my knowledge around the scientific aspect of dinosaurs is pretty rudimentary. And that's completely fine. It's just I don't have the best knowledge when it comes to like dinosaurs and formations and fossils and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I do have an interest in it, but my knowledge in it is just, it's very basic. So I do apologize that I can't answer certain questions because they're more based on the scientific aspect of dinosaurs. I can, I can answer your second one though. Maybe that'll be enough. Actually, it's not, because for your second question, no, I will never talk about InGen's list, or at least I don't think I can. I don't think I will, because Jurassic Park is just not something that I typically cover here on the channel. I mean, there might be like specific, like very specific scenarios in which maybe it will come up. For example, like the Jurassic Park iceberg, I can maybe see InGen's list coming up in. My plan was to do like an updated version of the Jurassic Park iceberg, which I never got around to because I said I was going to do it after Dominion came out, and I just, I never did it. I apologize, but I still kind of want to do it. So if I were to talk about InGen's list, it would probably be in a video like that. Other than that, not really. I wouldn't do it like as its own video. I just feel like stuff like that in terms of Jurassic Park already has enough coverage from other channels that are solely based around the Jurassic Park franchise, the Jurassic Park/World franchise. Next question from Playing Chicksken. I think that's how you pronounce that. How long have you been into paleontology slash dinos? I've been into it my entire life. According to my mom, at like the age of 3, I watched Jurassic Park, and if I watched Jurassic Park at age 3, who knows what the fuck I was watching before then. I was probably watching Land Before Time when I was like 1 or 2. I don't know. Maybe it was Jurassic Park that introduced me to it. I was just watching everything else after. I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is I was introduced to like dinosaur stuff very early on in my life. So, I mean, from there, it just kind of sparked an interest, and now that interest carries on to today. Maybe not so much in the in terms of like paleontology, but I still very much love dinosaurs. And I'm lying a little bit when it comes to paleontology because I do have an interest in it. Just, you know, not enough to, I guess, pursue it as like a career path, but an interest nonetheless. Next question from my friend Super Pish. All right. Do you know if Lightning McQueen has car insurance or life insurance? Well, okay, so Pish is asking the real questions here, guys. I mean, I guess in this universe, they're alive, so I guess it would, for them, it would count as life insurance. I think this is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pish is just asking the real questions here. I should respect that. I apologize. Next question by Namita. Would you rather fight 50 compy-sized Tyrannosaurs or 10 Tyrannosaur-sized compies? Probably the 50 compy-sized Tyrannosaurs. I think I'd have a better chance. It would still be kind of difficult because obviously there's like fucking 50 of them. But come on, like 10 Tyrannosaur-sized compies. I don't even think I would be able to beat one. I mean, because like for the T-Rex, like the compy-sized T-Rexes, I feel like you could like step on them and crush them and be like, okay, we're good. Even if there's 50 of them, I feel like I would have somewhat of a chance, and I could defeat more than 10 Tyrannosaur-sized compies. I don't even think I could beat one of those. So obviously, if I'm gonna pick the fight here, I'm gonna pick the one where I would think I have a little bit of a chance, and that's gonna be the 50 compy-sized Tyrannosaurs. I don't know why I'm answering this question as if it's so serious. All right, next question from Zem87. What's your favorite dinosaur, and what's your favorite movie featuring dinosaurs? So I kind of already answered like my favorite dinosaur. Like in general, I mean, if we're talking about in general, then yes, my favorite dinosaur would be the Brachiosaurus. I prefer that one over the Tyrannosaurus Rex. However, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is my favorite carnivorous dinosaur. However, again, in general, Brachiosaurus. My favorite movie featuring dinosaurs. I guess just, I mean, it's a basic answer, but Jurassic Park, yes, that's my favorite dinosaur movie, I'd say. For reasons that don't even need to be brought up because any dinosaur fan knows that like why Jurassic Park is loved. Even if it's not your favorite dinosaur movie, you know why it's loved. Next question from Facts and Theories with George. Do you want Dino Crisis and potentially other great PS1 dinosaur games to make a return with updated graphics and gameplay? Absolutely. It would be really cool if we could get Dino Crisis in next-gen consoles with updated graphics. As far as other PS1 dinosaur games, absolutely. I don't know other PS1 dinosaur games, but I'm not very picky when it comes to it. So I'm down to see whatever gets brought back. I'm not very picky when it comes to like dinosaur games. I'll probably find some level of enjoyment out of it, but I would definitely want to try it out if they were to bring back these much older games to modern consoles and I guess even PC and whatnot. But yeah, that would be really cool to see. Next question from Marasar Rapal. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Also known as Floaty. What motivated you to make videos? So, I don't know. There was like a point where my channel was going to be more like the original idea for what my channel was going to be when I first created it was that it was going to be like an informational dinosaur channel that focused on like paleontology and whatnot, you know? I figured it could be like a good outlet to be able to teach other people about dinosaurs. And simultaneously learn more about it for myself. So that was kind of what motivated me to start making videos. But obviously that's not what ended up happening, and the reason why that didn't end up happening was because I didn't really know how to make discussion videos back then. And instead of being just a normal person and looking it up, I was like, at the same time I was watching like gaming YouTubers like the Gaming Beaver and Best in Slot, Vanos Gaming, H2 Delirious. All of those guys, watching them and their content and them playing video games, that was also a huge motivator for me to make content. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and instead just be a gaming channel, because that's probably easier to do and it'll be more fun anyways. And that's what I ended up doing. And then over time, you know, just the idea of being a gaming channel just wasn't really sitting right for me. I wanted something a bit more challenging and something a bit more, you know, I don't know, just something that felt like I was actually contributing to the community. I felt like I wasn't really doing anything different with the whole gaming YouTuber thing. So I decided to go back to the idea of being more of an informational channel that did like discussion videos, but instead of doing it like on the science aspect of dinosaurs and paleontology, I decided to look at like obscure pieces of paleo media, because I was watching a bunch of other YouTubers at the time that were doing a bunch of videos about obscure media, forgotten media, lost media, for just general media. And I thought, you know what, it would be really cool if there was a channel that did something similar to this, but was focused on like dinosaur related media. And since there were no other channels doing that, I was like, you know what, I'll do that. So that's kind of, there was a lot of things, there was a lot of like elements that really motivated me to do it. Just, there were a bunch of YouTubers that inspired me to do it. There was the intent of just doing it for fun. There was the idea that I was contributing something different to the community. There was just a lot of elements at play here that really made me motivated to make videos. Oh, and there's another comment here from Broken's Show L that actually kind of asked the same question. What made you want to become a YouTuber? Who/what inspired you to make the content you make today? So the previous answer to the previous question pretty much applies to this question too. I guess just to add on to that, the people that specifically inspired me to make the content that I make today, because more likely than not, most of the people that are here even watching this video or subscribe to this channel are here from content that they watched on my channel that has been posted within like the last year or two, which is what I consider my most recent up-to-date content, because there was a point where I just wasn't doing this. But the people that inspired me to do this kind of content, the discussion-based content on obscure or just not very well-known pieces of paleo media, were people like Blame It on Jorge, people like Wang, and there was just a bunch of other YouTubers. There was people like Nexpo, YMS, Dead Meat. All of these YouTubers were very consistent in their quality for their content, which is something that I wanted to do as well, on top of covering just the obscure stuff. So, you know, all of these YouTubers in one way or another just inspired me to make the kind of content that I do now, not just in terms of topics, but also in terms of like style and consistency and quality. Next question by Tyler Raxtis. What other topics for your series do you think you'll be covering in the future? What's your thoughts on cryptozoology as a whole, since you briefly mentioned it in your paleontology iceberg videos? I don't, as far as like other topics, I mean, I'm gonna continue with what I'm doing now. However, I wouldn't be surprised if I like maybe branched out a little to like maybe some non-paleo related content, maybe something, you know, it wouldn't be too far off from what I'm doing now, but I would maybe branch out a little bit. In terms of like cryptozoology, I think all of that's really interesting. It doesn't always like fit the context of the channel, but I guess in terms of like the paleontology fringe theories iceberg video, it does, because there's actually a lot of elements of paleo elements to cryptozoology. But overall, I think that the field of cryptozoology is really interesting. I don't know if I'd explore it any farther in any of my videos outside of the iceberg series that I'm currently doing. Next question from Ryan Lagana, who asks, in an alternative universe where Jurassic Park had a completely different case of dinosaurs, for example, replaced T-Rex with Acrocanthosaurus and Velociraptor with maybe Latenivenatrix, do you think that these dinosaurs would become iconic and ones almost everyone would know? That's a really good question, and the answer is I don't know. The thing about the T-Rex is that the reason why it's famous goes well beyond just Jurassic Park. To think that Jurassic Park was the only reason why these dinosaurs are extremely popular is just wrong. I mean, especially for something like Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yes, you could argue that other dinosaurs within that movie would not have the same kind of level of fame that they have now if they were not featured in that movie, sure. But if we're talking about something like the Tyrannosaurus Rex, there's a lot of elements as to why it was famous. So I can't say for certain that something like Acrocanthosaurus or any kind of large theropod dinosaur that's not as famous as T-Rex, replacing it in Jurassic Park would guarantee it like the same amount of success. For the T-Rex, its history goes all the way back to when it was first discovered in the early 1900s. As far as the Velociraptor goes, or I suppose in this case any other dinosaurs that featured in the Jurassic Park movies, I couldn't say for sure because I don't know their history nearly as well as T-Rex. Could lesser known dinosaurs featuring in Jurassic Park make them more well known? Sure. But I just don't know for certain if it would guarantee them the same kind of success as other dinosaurs that featured in Jurassic Park, you know, the ones that we know like Velociraptor, Dilophosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and so on. Next question by Sylvester Tutka. What is your favorite species of pterosaur? Oh, that's easy, the Spinoferus. Next question from Moth Productions. Do you know much about the Discovery Channel edits of Walking with Dinosaurs and Walking with Beasts? They were also called Prehistoric Planet, and they were narrated by Ben Stiller. Season 2 is considered lost media 20 years later. Yes, I actually do know about that. In fact, I did a video not too long ago where I discussed various pieces of lost paleo media, and I included that in that video. There's a couple people like Killian Engelhard, and who else was there? There was somebody else that asked the same question. Braden Passmore, who asked, who would I want to do a collaboration project with? And honestly, I don't mind doing a collaboration with anybody. Maybe not at like this very moment. At this moment, I am very busy because of school. I recently started college back up. I'm doing face-to-face classes, so that's taking up a lot of my time, and trying to do YouTube kind of on the side while trying to mainly focus on that is really hard. So trying to commit myself to a collaboration with somebody else is probably not the best thing right now for me to do, but if I wasn't busy, I'd honestly do a collaboration project with anybody. I don't mean to like call out people by name. To give you a more specific answer, some people that I wouldn't mind collaborating with are people like Paleoanalysis and RickRaptor105. You know, those guys seem pretty cool. I definitely want to do like video projects with them. I think we're on our final question from Jesus Christ, who asks my opinion on Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to answer the question. I'm just going to do this, all right? Yee. And I think that's pretty much all of our questions. So if for whatever reason you didn't get to ask your question or I didn't answer it, check me out on my Discord server. You can ask me there, or you can probably just wait patiently for another Q&A, because I mean, I like Q&As. I'll probably do another one in the future at some point. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much once again for just getting me to 40,000 subscribers. At this point that I'm recording, I think we're at like 44,000, which is just crazy to me. I appreciate your guys' patience and support that you've shown this channel for the several years that I've been working on it. Just thank you guys so much for everything, and I really hope you did enjoy this video. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a nice day.